Can I help you?
Hey man, I'm doing a video documentary.
For what? Yeah, I'm just gonna let you know we got a lot of break-ins, so no, get out of here with the camera, or I'll call the cops. I'm not even kidding. We've literally had a ton of break-ins and people doing just that supposedly, so that could go.
This is honestly truly one of those events and crimes that you would see in a movie. Welcome back to another video, guys. My name is Harmon. Today's episode features an old 90-year-old man who was killed in his home. This man, who I'll tell you about, he wanted to be like Hugh Hefner. That is kind of how he lived his life. He became the Hugh Hefner of Iowa. 90-year-old John Owen may have looked like an old man. He had a breathing tube support system with him wherever he went, but he did not act like a 90-year-old man. So John Owen, he lived here in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. He was married for 52 years to a lady named Ruth Owen. Their marriage eventually kind of fizzled out, and so he ended up taking all the money out of like the account that he had with Ruth, which was somewhere in the neighborhood of like $150,000 or even closer to $200,000. And the last 3 years before he was killed, he would use this money to frequent strip clubs, buy tons of jewelry, and lavish any of these young girls that he wanted to be with. There was reported of at least 4 or 5 young girls, like 18 to 23 years old, who he would have with him that would stay at his home, that he would buy cars and jewelry for them. So the unfortunate downfall of John Owen was probably due to the fact that he was not shy about showing off his wealth. He even bragged about his oxygen machine that he would carry around with him because he needed oxygen all the time. And he kept bragging and saying that this machine was worth like $4,000 for the machine alone. But he would always wear tons and tons of expensive jewelry, and again frequent a strip club named Woody's in Cedar Rapids here. This is the club where he met several of the strippers that kind of became his entourage or whatever you want to call it. At any given time, he had like 3 to 4 of the strippers come to his house, hang out with him for weeks on end, and again provide them with basically anything that they wanted. And I think in return, I think he was hoping that one of them could become like his girlfriend, or at least one that he could be intimate with, as he told many of the girls that he really wanted to be intimate with many of them. And of course a lot of them refused, but they stuck around only because John Owen continued to just give them gifts, give them cars, and whatever else that they wanted. So they took advantage of his generosity, and that is why on January 18th, 2013, John Owen was found dead in his Cedar Rapids home. The door was wide open, tons of his jewelry and items were stolen, and the police figured out that it was due to the fact that John Owen, was so outspoken about his wealth and that someone killed him and took all his stuff. He bought the house that he died in about 9 weeks before he was killed. Reportedly, he spent about $250,000. So besides the $150,000 that he took out of like his joint account with his former wife, he also had tons of other money that he made through his other real estate investments that he had. He bought several other houses, Arizona and some other places, and the investments went really good, and he gained, I think, triple what he paid for some of these other houses. And so he grew obviously quite wealthy. So his ex-wife Ruth, who he was married to for 50 plus years, was actually his third wife. So he was married twice before Ruth, and she was the one that inherited their huge property. It was 440 acres. At this point, the case remains unsolved. All right, guys. So this is the famous strip club that M. John Owen went to as a regular the last like 3 years of his life. And again, this is where he met basically the 5 or 6 girls here. I think most of them were workers here at the strip club. Crazy coincidence, but the giant water tower that has the city name on it is basically in the backyard of where M. John Owen lived. His house was literally right down the street here in this little cul-de-sac. It's 107 Gaslight Court Southwest, I believe, is the actual address.
Can I help you?
Hey man, I'm doing a video documentary
For what?
on the guy that used to live right there.
Yeah, I'm just gonna let you know we got a lot of break-ins, so no, get out of here with the camera, or I'll call the cops. I'm not even kidding. We've literally had a ton of break-ins and people doing just that supposedly, so that could go.
All right.
Some dude just walking out here with a video camera. He's pointing at Ginny and Adam's house, saying he's doing a video documentary of the guy who lived there, but he's pointing at Ginny and Adam's house. He needs to go there.
Yeah.
I am doing a video documentary.
Okay, well, it goes. You give me.
It's just that we've had a lot of break-ins in the neighborhood.
Okay.
Like, nightly.
Yeah.
So I think that is just making people uneasy.
Yep.
Seeing someone with a camera because they're actually coming from in the woods. Like cameras that are watching the people coming out that way.
Sure.
Their cars have been broken into. A lot of places have been broken into, and I think that's just what it is.
You weren't even pointing the camera at the house.
And I would and if you're going to do a documentary, just make sure you talk to Bruce and Cheryl about it, because everybody's on edge and watching for anyone that
Right.
doesn't want it. So.
Well, no, that's totally fine, but like I was literally just going to take a 2-second clip and then be on my way, but...
Yeah, and that's just a bad area, because that's where we've seen people coming in and out of.
Right.
So, and did you talk to Bruce and Cheryl about taking...
You're allowed to be on a public road and take pictures of any place on the public street. That's all I was doing. I wasn't going up their driveway or anything.
Yeah, I know. It's not very respectful to people's property either, right?
Well, I wasn't going up any closer than I was in the middle of the cul-de-sac, but
Yeah.
your husband could be a little bit nicer about it. Wow, so apparently I can't even take a video or footage of the house, which is, again, I get what, I don't know, I'm not sure if you heard what they were saying, but I get that, like, if there's a lot of, break-ins in the area, like, people are sketched out about taking videos and stuff, but, like, you're allowed to be on the street, and you're allowed to take a video of the property, of any property, really, as long as you stay on the street or sidewalk. You're allowed to do that, so... Anyway, I wasn't going to argue with them, especially the husband, who seemed very, very upset about just anyone coming near their neighbor's house. But anyway, wow, wasn't expecting that. You guys know my videos. All I do is quickly show the house and move on. I don't do anything else, so okay.